We are headed to the weekend, but before we go there, let's take a look at those top stories making headlines. With me, Rolene Marks, right here on the Israel Brief, brought to you, as always, by Lay of the Land. And if you are looking for great content to read this weekend or want to browse through our different categories, look no further than our website. Those details coming up later in the show. But before we go there, let's take a look at what's happening. And moments ago, it was announced that the Ayalon Highway, as well as the roads around Ben Gurion Airport, have reopened. Now, this follows protests that have been taking place the whole day. Today has been declared a day of resistance. Israelis from all walks of life, religious, secular, left, center, right, everybody are taking to the street to protest the proposed judicial overhauls. Now, earlier today, police and protesters scuffled in Tel Aviv as many protesters tried to block access to the Ayalon Highway. Mounted police had to be deployed, and just moments ago we got news that the highway is now open. The same for Ben Gurion Airport, protesters gathered around the entrance to the airport. They did not go inside, and this is to either delay or to stop Prime Minister Netanyahu, who has just departed for Rome from his flight taking off. The Prime Minister, while he was in the airport, also met with the Pentagon Defense Chief Lloyd Austin. The two met just as Austin had landed. He is now meeting with our Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. But speaking to Austin, Netanyahu reiterated that we want to see the circle of peace expand. This is in reference to the Abraham Accords. The Prime Minister has departed for Rome, where he is expected to speak to the Italian government about increasing economic ties, and recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel is also reported to be high on the agenda. Now, protests will continue throughout the day, including here in the city of Modi'in, where I live, and then pick up again as they have every Saturday night in Tel Aviv and cities across the country. Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has slammed a decision by the South African government to downgrade ties with Israel. Now, this follows a vote in Parliament just 2 days ago, where there was a majority vote to downgrade the embassy to a liaison office, something that was discussed 4 years ago. Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs called it disgraceful and shameful, and said that a symbolic resolution does not stand to play any viable role in a two-state solution. The South African Zionist Federation also released a statement saying that South Africans deserved better than their leaders, and also noted the many African countries that are increasing bilateral ties with the State of Israel and moving their embassies to the capital, Jerusalem. They also mentioned the impact that this decision could have on many Jewish, Christian and Muslim visitors to the country every year. Otzma Yehudi and Minister of Finance Bezalel Smotrich has taken to Facebook to apologize to the Israel Defense Forces for his comments last week calling for the Palestinian town of Huwara to be wiped off the map. He said that he did not realize that this could be interpreted as a military order. Now, Bezalel Smotrich also shares a defense portfolio in the West Bank with Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. This comment has sparked widespread protests by the military and especially the Air Force, who say that this kind of rhetoric does not sit with the morals and the ethics of Israel's defense forces. Meanwhile, Smotrich's comments drew widespread condemnation around the world, leading to Jewish groups in the United States to appeal to the government to block his visa. He is scheduled to visit Washington sometime soon to make a speech addressing Israel bonds. And our final story is a sad one. We pay tribute and say farewell to a true Israeli icon, one of our greatest sons of the country and of the entertainment world, and that is Chaim Topol, better known as Topol, passed away yesterday at the age of 88. He died in his Tel Aviv home surrounded by his family and had battled Alzheimer's for the last couple of years. Now, Topol was nominated for an Oscar and won the Golden Globe for his most iconic role, and that is of Tevye the Milkman in the adaptation of Sholem Aleichem's what was called Tevye the Milkman, but made into the movie Fiddler on the Roof, which was a remarkable success. Topol also famously played Tevye at least 3,500 times on the global stage, and said that, it's quite amazing to go through life being recognized for one particular role, and if that's what it is, then he has absolutely no complaints. He burst onto the scene in a movie called Salah Shabati before he gained worldwide fame as Tevye. And our thoughts and our prayers are with his family and loved ones, and we thank him so much for the precious memories that he has given generations, not just Jewish or Israeli, but around the world, who appreciated his remarkable talent. May his memory be eternally blessed. That brings us to the end of today's top stories. Don't forget to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. We have a wonderful article there about Topol. It's called Tea with Topol. So if you put that in the search bar, you'll be able to read that wonderful interview that Dave Kaplan conducted with Topol just a couple of years ago. Our Facebook page is at Lottel Site. You guys know what to do. Like us, share us, follow us. Make sure that as many people as possible get to see our content. Our YouTube channel is at The Israel Brief. We would love it if you're watching to hit that red subscribe button, like, share, and hey, if you've got any comments on any of the content on today's edition of The Israel Brief, we always love to hear from you. And we're on Twitter at LayOfTheLand5. I'm Rolene Marks. This is The Israel Brief. I wish you all a wonderful weekend, a well-deserved rest. Shabbat Shalom, and I will see you again on Monday for your top stories.